Well, hello there. Hello to my Freaky Friday. That's right, this is going to be a Freaky Friday full of some interesting information. So stick around and I hope you'll join me. This is Vicky. Miss Jackie Russell is my channel and my nickname, and I'm happy to have you here. And I'm having a laid back Friday, no makeup, hair up in a mess, and we're just going to chit chat about a few things. What do you think about that? I come across some interesting things this week, and I thought they might be of interest to you all as well, because one of the things I came across was 9 cosmetic companies that have bad product or have issues with their product. And I will tell you who they are. I don't know all the details behind each one as far as remembering, but I will put a link to the video that I watched and you can check them all out. But I will give you some information. And I was really shocked at some of these, and most of them are going to be lip products. And it's so important because when we put lip products on, they say we wear like, I forgot how many pounds of lipstick, and I never realized that. But I know I'm always applying lipstick, even now with no makeup. I've got on my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and this is a big lip plumpgasm. And, I feel it kind of tingling and whatever, but I mean, I always have something on my lips, whether it's Carmax, Estee Lauder, Buxom. I have a bunch of favorites. MAC. And I'm also going to tell you what the best product is as far as the cleanest that they found. And in this information, they had said they had reports, reports on the companies that was selling bad or inferior or cheap, I guess, ingredients. It might be FDA approved, but it's on the lower scale of it. And some of it had like mold and stuff, in a situation where, it could contaminate. And the biggest thing is they said, have you ever been using lip product and your lips just get really dry and peely, or have you like plumped out real big with like a reaction, allergic reaction? So this could mean that it may not affect every single person. So you got to keep that in mind. And you also have to keep in mind that I don't know the report as far as what I want to say. Like, I don't know them, so I can't say I stand behind them 100%. It's not a situation like that. It's a Freaky Friday, and that's why I'm calling this Freaky Friday. And so if I find more Freaky Friday things, I'm going to start bringing them to you, because some of this we might need to know. And you would have to go and investigate this for yourself. But I also came across an email today that was sent to me from Health, and there is a recall on many fridges. And so I need to tell y'all about that. Now, isn't that freaky? And I even have more freaky info that I came across after I had watched this. Okay, the name of the video was called Bad Lip Cosmetics. And I sent myself the link, and of course I'm going to share that with you guys. But I want you to know what it was saying. It said not all lipsticks is harmless, and some of the most popular brands are hiding toxic ingredients that can mess with your hormones, skin, and long-term health. And I do know that to be kind of true, because I think that's why a lot of people go to the clean and to the vegan free and the paraben and phthalates free. And it says if you care about clean beauty, non-toxic makeup, or avoiding things like lead, PFAS, and that's capitalized, parabens, and endocrine disruptors, this video's for you, it says. And anyways, Which lipstick brands contain toxic or questionable ingredients, common harmful chemicals hiding in the products, and why clean beauty labels can be misleading, and 3 lipstick brands that I told you we're going to talk about that genuinely are safer alternatives, and how to spot a toxic ingredient. So I'm not going to tell you every little single bit of that in this video. I would let that video speak for itself, and that it is up to you if you want to go and check it out. But what I want to do is tell you the names of these companies, because I was freaking out. Like I said, Freaky Friday. The first cosmetic that it mentioned as having bad or something that could be bad for you formulas, and I'm not sure if it was just in the lippies of this company, was Kylie Cosmetics. I mean, wow. I mean, like, I was really shocked. I do have Kylie Cosmetics, but I will have to say, I don't use them very often, and now I'm kind of glad that I don't. Now, I think in this, they did say that the more frequent you're using some of these, the more, problem you might could have with it. But, she has her little lippy liquid lip, and that's what I have. I probably have a couple of those, and I have some eyeshadow. And yes, on some of these, even eyeshadow. Now, brace yourself for this next one. This was probably one of the most shocking to me. The next one that they listed, especially for lippies, is Jeffree Star. What? I mean, I was totally shocked, and it went over all their stuff in detail and what they had found, and how they had cut cost in order to maybe produce more, or maybe they had such a high demand and they cut cost. That's what they're saying, and they had some legitimate documents to back this up, and I was totally shocked. Do I have Jeffree Star? Yes. It even disturbed me more. It said the more highly pigmented the product was, and this was even in lippies and even in their eyeshadows, that some of it had contamination in it. And now, as far as reports, I don't know how far back this goes or anything. I'm just giving you information, and you'll have to do your own hard study on it. But it's freaky, right? That's just totally freaky. And if you think that's freaky, let me tell you, after I watched this, and I kid you not, the next day I got an email from Jeffree Star. And many of you that buy Jeffree Star may have gotten the same email. And it said, 7 glosses for $7. When I seen that, I just went, and I'm going to run that advertisement across there so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. It may be in a couple of pictures across there, but it says, gloss lovers, listen up. Our best-selling formula is now a 7-piece set at an unreal price. High shine, cushiony comfort, glass-like lips, and limited time. 7 for $7. Okay, now these lippies are what? Usually 25 to 30 or something. Some of you probably know exactly how much they are. You talking about a red flag going up? Immediately, I thought to myself, who would be selling a $30 lippy? Now I'm going to say, we'll say $25 to $35 lippy for $1. And not just one, 7, a collection of their glosses. Does that mean they're trying to push this out on you guys? Or on me? I don't know. I'm not going to say yes. I'm going to say freaky. That was very freaky to get an email after I just learned about them being one of the dirtiest lip cosmetics. And then this looks like a dump. It looks like a good deal. But you know what they say about good deals? There's a hitch. There's something to it. And that really popped in my mind when I heard that. Okay, now are you still with me? If you're still with me and you like content like this, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the like, and share me out. Because I think every woman or male that wears these cosmetics need to know and investigate for themselves. And that's why I'm bringing this today. The next one, I kind of fell over a little bit too, because here lately they've kind of had a reboot and they're getting big and they're being in a lot of the boxes again, and they're being, endorsed by who? Ipsy. Guess who it is? Morph. I had no clue. Morph. I have foundation. I might have a lipstick. I might have eyeshadows. Oh, and back to the eyeshadows with Jeffree Star. They said even the pigmented dark colors of shades of eyeshadow to avoid them because there's contamination in the higher pigment, not only in their lipsticks, but in their eyeshadows. Now, I don't know if that's every palette they've ever made or if they just did a random one on one palette and that's what they found. I'm just saying beware because I'm not sure, And I don't want to sit here and say it's the gospel. I just want to say make your own judgments, do your own study. But back to Morph. Can you believe that? They said that Morph's eyeshadows and I think some of their other cosmetics, as well as maybe lippies, were having problems. And I was just shocked by that. And I think I learned somewhere along here that either Morph like endorsed Jeffree Star or Jeffree Star endorsed Morph. I don't know, but they have a connection somewhere in their developing their products, okay? That's the way I understood it. Now, number 4 is going to be another shocker for so many of you. So many. And you need to do your investigation because I know a lot of my channel friends get this on a regular basis. I don't really have any color pop. That's it, color pop. Yeah, their eyeshadows and their lippies, maybe some of their other stuff you put on your cheeks. And again, I want to say that this may not be every single person would have a reaction to this, but it was listed in the top 9 toxic lipsticks. So they're mostly talking lipsticks, but they have mentioned in this some of the other products these companies make. So be aware of that one and check your information. Go find out on your own. And, if this is being some kind of false information, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that I am only doing this because what? It's freaky. Freaky Friday. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that is so freaky because I know a lot of people use it. Now, the next brand I'm not familiar with, and I don't think I have anything in this brand, and it was called Lime Crime. And I think they mostly talked about their lippies, but I don't remember each detail since I've watched it, but I was still shocked about that. So if you use that product, check in to some of this information for yourself. The next product, I have had some, but I don't use it much at all. And I'm kind of glad on the ones that I don't use at all. And this was NYX. Yeah. So we're talking about some big major brands here and some that you wouldn't expect. And the next one is really big. It's a everyday stocked product in Dollar Generals. I don't know if it's in Dollar Tree, but in Walgreens, Walmart, Target, online, everywhere. It's owned by L'Oreal. And guess who it is? It's Maybelline. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that. They said that they used cheaper ingredients, so it doesn't mean that it's not FDA approved, but they use cheaper ingredients because whatever the FDA has said is okay, they go that bottom line for their mass market products. And I was just freaking out about that because I have used Maybelline in the past. I don't use it so much now, but that's something that everybody uses. And then the next one is another drugstore brand that we are all aware of, and it's Revlon. And I use Revlon lipsticks all the time. I liked those, years ago before I moved up to Estee Lauder and some of my other MAC and all that kind of stuff. And that was number 8. And then number 9, I'm going to say number 9 didn't overly surprise me, but I will say that it was a surprise because I have it and it's in my purse. It's in my bathroom, and so I keep 2. It's the same color and it's a bubble gum pink, and it's Wet and Wild. And of course, think about it. Wet and Wild lip gloss is about, I don't know, $3 or $4, sometimes $1.99. So, maybe that's why. But now I will say this. I've used it, I've never noticed any reaction. So again, some of these ingredients that's FDA approved may give allergic reactions to some and none to others. And you may be able to use these products with absolutely no problem, even if they do have some kind of questionable things going on. But I would definitely question. Let me tell you this: if I hadn't read this and known about this, I probably would have bought the 7 glosses for $7. I would have fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Now I'm not too sure, and I even mentioned that to Carol. She wanted to know which line, so I don't know which line. You'd have to go see that because I didn't write down specific things, but I know it mentioned him or that I know he mentioned that cosmetic company. And then I got that email and I just found that suspicious and freaky, as I said. Okay, now to the good news. The good news, the most clean makeup according to them, number 3, is a very big favorite of all of us, and Ipsy promotes this one too, and so does QVC, and it is Tarte. Your major department stores. So yay, we have a good brand here that many of us have. Palettes, lipsticks. They said their lippies are some of the best, and the Amazonian products are some of the cleanest and the best made cosmetics in the world. I mean, they really, really gave them a big hello, and yeah, these are great. And then the next one, I don't think I have any of this, but it's called Bite Beauty, and it says their beauty concept logo is safe enough to eat. So their product is so safe, if you eat it, you're going to be all right. No big deal. So that's a big slogan, that's a big statement. And, might have to check into these. And then the number 1, and I can't tell you how many of these that I've sent on in giveaways and stuff because I wasn't familiar with it. But the number 1 that they said of beauty is Ilia, I-L-I-A, Ilia, maybe it's Ilia Beauty. Number 1, it has natural, organic vitamin E and coconut oils in a lot of their products. And I just wrote down a couple of little notes, and you can see what I wrote down here. I was just freaking out when I started watching that because I wanted to share it because you might want to know this. It may not change anything. I'm not sitting here saying you better quit or else. I'm just saying be aware, be informed, and make your own educated decisions after you find out, what you learn. Now, the other thing that I got today on my email, and I wanted to share it with you guys, is I got a health report of I guess you could say a recall. And a lot of my recalls are related to puppies and stuff, not beauty. But today in Health Trending, it said that a mini fridge recalled nationwide due to fire and burn risk. More than 300,000 units affected. It looks like a little red refrigerator. So if you've got a retro looking red refrigerator, you might want to, check this out. It says the recall is in an expansion on another Refrigerator mini fridge recall from last July, affecting 634,000 units. And now they're saying they have 300,000 right now of these. Okay, I already told you how many units that it was. And it's saying about 300,000 Frigidaire mini fridges sold at Target have been recalled nationwide due to a fire and burn hazard. This recall is an expansion on another Frigidaire mini fridge recall from last July. And I just told you that, and that was 634,000. If you have a recalled mini fridge, stop using it immediately and request a refund. They've been recalled nationwide. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission announced Thursday. Sold exclusively. Okay, so this would only be at Target. So if you've bought these from Target, exclusively at Target, the products were pulled from the shelf following 6 reports of them catching fire, causing property damage, and posing a burn hazard. This recall expands on another one, in which we just talked about. So the product description is Frigidaire 6-can mini fridge in red. The model number is EFMIS121, and the serial numbers are between A2001 and A2310. And I'll run that across there too, so that you'll have a snapshot of that, so that you can see what it is. So, I mean, this is just freaky. Now, is that freaky? You have a little refrigerator there and you think everything's all hunky-dory, and then the next thing you know, your house is on fire. Or maybe you touched it and it overheated, or you're unplugging it and the wire is like fire red hot. I mean, this is terrible. You don't want that to happen. So that's why I come on here today. I've been thinking about doing something a little more talkative, see what y'all think about it, and let you know about some of these things, because it seems like I get a lot of reports, especially from that health line, and just some interesting things that, you might want to know. And I really wanted to share the stuff about the cosmetics, because that directly affects many of us. Whether we, use any of these or not, you might have a friend or somebody that uses them. So, I mean, that's a direct line, so to speak, and you could help somebody. And that Target recall for that mini fridge. So share this out if you know anyone that could have that particular refrigerator. And like I said, I'll run that across there in a picture so you can snapshot it and check it for yourself if you have one. 300,000, I mean, that's quite a few. But I don't know, where'd they sell them, because Target's everywhere, and you can even order online like I do. So anyways, that's my Freaky Friday this week, and I'm going to get me a little drink out of my pink Stanley cup. Now, hey guys, I'm going to put a plug out for, I think it's the Temu Winter collab. I'm not quite sure how Mary called it, but I'm going to put a plug in for that collaboration. They're going to have 6 or 7 channels. I'm not in it this time, so because, I already made an announcement to you all that I was not doing Temu, and I may do Temu again, but when she was getting ready for this collab, I had definitely pulled back from Temu. So, but it doesn't mean Temu's bad, just means I pulled out and I just walked away from my affiliate. I am still an affiliate and I can come back, and they have asked me to come back, but I haven't decided yet. So anyways, I just want to let you know that that collab is running, and I think it starts on Saturday, and I think it runs for 2 weeks, but you'll have to watch it. I know Mary Catherine's in it, Carol Gardner, I think Sherry with Single Mom Review. I think Cheryl for Peace is going to be in it. Tea Time Adventures, I'm sure she's going to be in it. She's been in it before. Sue, Reviews with Sue, I think is going to be in it. So I don't know if I've got everybody or not, but that's some of them that's going to be in it. And Nona's Here could be in it. But the main thing is, if you watch it, you'll find out who all's going to be in it. And I'm sure Mary's going to talk about that tonight in her Friday Night Gab. So anyways, kudos to all of them. I'll be watching y'all. I can't wait to see what you found. And I hope you liked my Freaky Friday news. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And I will put that link down in my description. But as for today and this Freaky Friday report, that's all I have. And as usual, I wish you all a blessed and happy day. Bye-bye.